Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley. This is the series Women's Sacred Sound, and we've been discussing divine intelligence, new pathways for women into sound, and the effects of it in 2026. And last video was 2026, and we're getting a little bit more on 2027, I think, in this video. And here I go. I want to get out of the way because I'm excited to hear what it'll be. Hope you are too. Oh, good day to you, dear beings of light. It is Aliene of Cosmic Service Pleiadian, Mother of Sound, here with you with the Pleiadian update of the women who are juicy shamanic healers and going for these upgrades, because that's what we represent, the upgrades of women on the human consciousness grid. We're here for that. And we're here also to assist in other things, but our coming forward and speaking is about that. So in 2027, what's going on with this new divine feminine connection? What will be different? What are the new healing tools? What will be different? One, hang on, we're going to go on pause. Okay, sorry for the pause, little interruption there. So the divine intelligence is coming in. It's percolating up through women. It's coming through the divine intelligence, through a new pathway that's been made from the Christ grid into the mastery soul grid out to the greater divine intelligence. And it will have an effect palpable in a feeling with women more than men because of that connection. And I just was saying, what are the new tools? What are the upgrades? What's happening? The first thing we would say is you have to raise your vibration up higher to access the higher energy. How do you do that? You need to do some healing. So what are the new tools? This one has found that some of her tools aren't working anymore. Some of the creating space, some of the grounding, and she's been trying to figure that out. And she's been trying to figure out why some of the geometry shape of creating a rectangle to make a sacred space isn't working. And she's been trying to figure out why she's having to ground in a different way. So this is new. And we're going to suggest you try these things and see if they help you go to a higher vibration. Because maybe you don't know how to heal between the new layer and the old. Maybe you're not someone who went to a school, or you're not a natural clairvoyant and healer, or you haven't had training, or you don't have the time or money or income to want to do that because you're not in the field of healing, or a massage therapist, or a doctor, or a nurse, or many people in the healing arts take these courses. Some of them just to learn how to clear their energy at the end of the day. Some of them because they want to help their patients. They figure they're touching them all the time. How can they do that with more intent? And how does that work? So there's a desire to bring other modalities into the healing paradigm of the medical establishment in women. And it's been there for a long time, and they've been trying. And some token things have gotten in, but not what could really be there. And what could really be there is very profound. And we're going to say, for this one's sake, there's someone who's working on this, who's going to do that. So keep your eyes open. Okay, that was for her. Okay, so what we're going to describe a new way of healing. So and this is in her early meditation class, active meditation that's recorded. And we're going to put in a side video in the first one and the second one to try that also, to take you to the new spaces. So this recording is actually going to go into that class as well as the second one. So for those of you on YouTube, woohoo, if you're interested. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is describe a new way to create a sacred space. So this is working with your clairvoyance up in the sixth chakra, where you learn to come up to. You learn to shut your lower three chakras down so that energy of your spirit body, your interim spirit body, stays up there. It's easier. There's less noise coming from those lower chakras. Great for sensitives who go out to go shopping and they just come home rattled and stressed out because they just feel and take in so much because they're maybe not staying in their own alignment. You can, as a little consciousness ball, leave your seventh chakra, crown chakra, and go over to someone else and get all sorts of information and knowing and come back and then be a nervous wreck, as this one was taught. And it's true. So learning your vertical alignment and grounding is very important for those of you who want to know what we're talking about. So this is a kind of training for that, as well as it's a little bit of a training to learn with healing with pictures, sound, words, and color, the active meditation class. So in the past, you would go up, you'd create a screen, and you could use a rose or a box, a neutral symbol, to start to create a space. Because if you go up there, it's just blank space. It's like, this one had a very funny interpretation by someone who was saying what it's like to meditate for the first time. You go with a group, and you close your eyes, you're trying to meditate, and then the person goes, and they're looking at everyone else, and they're closing their eyes going, what the heck, there's nothing in here. It's a little cosmic joke there. So when you first go up to that space of no place, no time, and you're learning to create in your sixth chakra and your higher centers, it's just space, and the body's a little nervous. So you learn to create a space that creates a dimension that the body understands. Only your first chakra is in linear time on your timeline. I woke up this morning, I had a day, I'm going to bed. All these other chakras are multidimensional, and now you're up in one of them, and the body's like, I don't know where I am. So you create a space for many reasons, and that's a very primary one. So you go up there, you have a screen, you put a rose or a box in it, and you create gold balls in the ceiling and in the floor, and you connect lines to them, and you created a rectangle, a sacred platonic solid, but it's still see-through, but it's a shape with gold balls and lines and something in the middle. And using these symbols creates a containment for the soul and the body to understand, and for getting information or communing with the Creator. This is your sacred space. You're communing with your soul and the Creator here. And so then you ground that rose down and you align it up to the Creator and the cosmic energy. And then you pull your energy off of it into a gold sun over your head. And you give it a hello, which vibrates over to it and comes back and gives you information. You see, you stay in your vertical alignment. So that was the old way. But for people who are a little bit farther down the path, there's a new geometry, and it's a square. So instead of creating the rectangle, you would create a square shape and ground in alignment and put it in. And it feels different. And when this one did it, she immediately started to think about Leonardo da Vinci's Vitreous Man. Or is it Michelangelo's? I think it's Da Vinci's Vitreous Man. The man like this, well, we have our legs and our feet open inside a square, inside two circles. And she's been playing with that, and she realized that takes you to the heart field. And if you're having unity consciousness, and it's all related to your heart field, and if the old Akash is dropped off, and you're up to the new heart, lower level of the heart field Akash, karmic, needs healing, and a pathway up to the golden Akash of benevolence, and finding, oh yes, I'm finding my way to my soul and the creative source and more benevolent higher self. Well, that's a new geometry, and it is the heart field. So we suggest you try playing with that. And the other thing we suggest is, when you ground down into the earth, imagine that you're not grounding down to a rectangle, but that you're grounding down to a square, even in the earth level. Because you can create a sacred space for your room, you can create a sacred space for your yard, for your neighborhood or your area, for your nation, and for all of the earth. And those are basically 5 mock-ups that represent your 5 soul chakras, going out to larger levels of collective consciousness. And this one just started creating it. She was told about the first 2, what she naturally just started creating the others as she kept healing. And she's found lots more to heal by doing that. So for some of you who already do this kind of work, there you go. There's another idea. So we suggest you practice a new way of grounding and play with it. Now that what we'd like to do in this video is turn on the sound for musicians so that the recording is all the way here, because without that, some of the sound drops out. And we would like to give you an alignment for universal life to the heart field in the new square, creating a sacred space. That will also help you after you do that to be attuned in sound, especially if you're a woman who's getting a consciousness universal upgrade of universal life and divine intelligence through that new Christ benevolent pathway out to the greater field, to the Creator's divine intelligence of the soul groups. And if you didn't understand what we were saying, you have to watch the previous bunch of videos because it explains it. So when we do a series on YouTube, it kind of takes you along a journey and a story, which is why from the very beginning, when this one came forward, due to our insistence that she start the YouTube channel, bring the work forward, because she didn't really want to do that, that helps you understand. Now, the earlier videos are kind of tricky. She's learning to channel. She was exploring things in her own spiritual anatomy. And so she influenced those a little bit. But now she's a better channel. She's learned to get out of the way. She's learned that if she thinks or feels, she influences the video. And she's pretty good at just staying out of it now. So we would suggest the more recent videos might be more in alignment with many of you. And for those who are really techie and really want deeper understanding of anatomy and spiritual concepts, those earlier, maybe first 3 or 4 series would be for you. But the latter are more for everyone. Okay, so here we go. This will be in sound. We won't come back, and we're going to ask her not to sign off, so that if you want to record this little segment on your iPhone or your Android or whatever phone you have, or on your computer, and just have that for an attunement, sound alignment to this energy, then you have it. All right, here we go.